Hey, welcome back to the channel and to another incredibly gorgeous day here in the Italian hills. And today we've got a spectacular journey for you because we're going to take you to the wonderful town of Dolceaqua and then on to the incredible mountain village of Apricale. And along the way we're going to tell you about our experiences of being possibly the first Citroen Ami drivers in the Nervia Valley. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off!
So after a second night of tree cutting with the logman of Alcatraz, Mr. Boo and Halloween were up with the cock and ready to sort out the technicals on the car for our journey down the valley, first to Dolceaqua and then on to Apricale. So it's been quite a journey, hasn't it, these past few days, Mr. Boo? Bringing this vehicle into the Nervia Valley. As I say, we're pretty certain that they've not seen many, if any of them, because the reaction of the locals has been quite something. And it's been a very interesting experience overall, just trying to negotiate the towns, the hills, the places where there aren't any chargers, and the roads. So as I say, along the way today, along this lovely journey that we've got planned for you, we're going to try and tell you all the stuff that you need to know if you're thinking about taking a Citroen Ami into the Italian hills. So we are arriving now in the fantastic town of Dolceaqua. Why is Dolceaqua famous, Mr. Boo?
Well, it's a magical medieval village, and there's this very special bridge that Monet painted in 1890 something.
Let's see how much of the town or how little we can drive around. We're on the other side of the bridge here. Let's take you down here, see what's down here. That's what we're going to try and do, is what we did on some of our other videos in Italy, is just drive and see where we can go in our little I don't even think we can drive up there.
No.
So I think we'll have to do a quick reverse ferret. How surprised have people been to see a Citroen Ami, Mr. Boo, would you say, in a scale of 1 to 10?
Out of 14.
We have quite literally driven through some villages and past some sort of local bars full of guys having an early evening drink, and their mouths are agape. Now, it may be that two screaming homosexuals and a chihuahua would have also excited them.
Perhaps.
But add that to a very strange plastic car, and
It's like we were driving a spaceship past the bars.
it really has turned heads. And do you think there's been any negative reaction in terms of that?
No, not really.
Yeah. So I mean, this car always makes people smile, or usually makes people smile. But I think there's been a lot of smiling gone on. And I think it's in part, in a weird way, that if you look at the traffic on the side of here, look how many small and weird cars, look how many Fiat Pandas are still in circulation. 1, 2, everywhere you go you will see these old Fiat Pandas 3 still running. You'll also see Piaggio Apes, which are those three-wheelers, running between the farms. You will also see lots of these little micro trucks. Another strange micro truck here, look. So what I think is fascinating is in this area of Italy, they are kind of used to bonkers modes of transport, and they like them. This in our experience the last few days, this has not been a place where we've seen lots of big SUVs and Porsches and Range Rovers and all that sort of ego car. It's a place of cute little cars that fit on the streets. If we take a left here over the river, we should be able to show you the famous bridge.
They painted it in 1884.
Oh, 1884.
On the 18th of February 1884.
Mr. Boo knows some facts today. But it is stunning, and you will, if you come here, you'll see lots of folk having their photo taken on it. It's a right Instagram point, isn't it? But you can go over the bridge, you can go into the old town. You can even clamber your way up to that incredible ruined fortress up the top there. What you can't do is drive in this section. However, we can drive round here, show you a little bit of that wonderful River Nervia, and then we're going to take you into the actual town itself, because we can drive in a little section of the old town. And there you see, look, another Fiat Panda, a Piaggio. I wasn't making it up. Another Fiat Panda here. Everywhere you turn there are these old Pandas. I mean, that looks like it's from the 80s, doesn't it? Piaggio there.
And is that a new Panda? A newish Panda here?
I guess that's the newer. That's the modern incarnation of the Panda. But I think this is in part why we've had a nice time in terms of another Panda there, in terms of people's tolerance levels towards the speed of this car and towards its size and its quirkiness. So let's carry on here. Down there you can see the River Nervia. It gives its name to the valley, and that's where we were swimming in that, weren't we? So we made some friends, didn't we, swimming?
Yes, very friendly locals.
Very friendly locals. And it was absolutely gorgeous. It's like the sort of Nervia Valley beach, isn't it?
Yeah.
People assemble on the water, and in fact, in many ways, at this time of year in the Riviera, it's actually a much nicer thing to do than go to the beach, where you will quite literally bathe. Let's see if we can go up here and show you a little bit more of the wonders of Dolceaqua. Another Panda there, you see. You thought I was making it up. It's Panda-tastic. So here we're coming into the old town. I don't know whether we can actually drive up there. Maybe. Let's try. Given our love of trying to drive in ridiculous places, why not add another? But you can see the car does actually fit. Maybe they should have had it in medieval times.
They should have.
Wow, you can. Well, it says no entry there, but you can presumably drive up this bit.
I think we could do a little turn around here.
I think it's a turn. I can we go up there?
I don't think we can go up.
Yes, you can go up there. Wow. Traffic limited to 2 metres high. I don't think we're above 2 metres, are we, Mr. Boo?
No, but are you going to hit that doorstep?
No, fine. Are we going to hit that wall?
No.
Well, who knew you could drive in here? It's but how fantastic. We may sweat to death, might we, Halloween? Poor Halloween is panting. Don't worry, we'll stop and give you some air at the end of here. But how fantastic. And again, like the places we visited in last week's video, you can actually drive through here. but again, only do it with a very small car and a very small dog. Oh, now it's us all the locals. Are we going to run them over? I don't think they're locals, I think they're on holiday. Eating those things? No, you're okay. Grazie. They're very narrow streets, aren't they? Yes. You can imagine the water in winter gushing down this rivulet, can't you? Because these towns, when it rains, it's torrential, isn't it? It pours down from the mountains. And
I guess that's why it's so lush as well.
Yeah. Yet again today we had the logman of Alcatraz woke us at 5:30. And we're pretty sure that quite a lot of these trees have been chopped down to build boats, aren't we?
Yes.
They certainly were historically, but we've seen quite a lot of boaty people about, but boaty builder people, not sailors. Sailors too far from the sea. And where does this come out? What a fantastic little drive. Who knew? Not I. Now, Alimentare Francesca. Can we drive up there? Is there a sign? Or do we have to go out? I can't work it out.
I think we're going to struggle that way.
Well, I think
scarf.
You can go up there.
This is going to take us into the...
This will take us out, isn't it? I think, yeah. Oh, well, this is nice because you'll now get to see a bit of the sort of slightly glitzier bit of Dolceaqua, which is the sort of piazza. This pizza restaurant looks quite promising, we thought. It's one of the busier places. And you can see a bit of local reaction to our car here. They're very amused. They're on candid camera. You see? People love it.
But they don't hear it.
They don't hear it. This is often the problem. It needs to play a tune.
That's it.
Don't mind. Look, she's not going to move now.
She's trying Instagram to post.
They're like us. People become very determined to get their photo. Now it's time to head for the wondrous mountain village of Apricale. The second question of our experience, what about our old friend road rage? Do you think we've experienced road rage from other drivers who we've held up because of course the top speed of the Citroen Ami is just 45 kilometers an hour or 28 miles an hour?
Actually, no, a lot less than at home in France. Not so much beeping.
We haven't had a single beep.
No.
I've watched this in the 3 days because again I think it relates to the fact that they are used to slow moving Piaggio 8 farm vehicles, Fiat Pandas, De Cheveurs 2CVs, the Fiat version of the 2CV. They're used to it, and so there is a kind of much greater tolerance. And also, to be honest, these roads are often so narrow, so windy that you would be you'd be a bit of a fool to try and go at 70, although I'm sure some people do, given the number of barriers we see with crashes off them into the ravines. Oh, wow. So far we've done lots of positive things about our experience. One of the negative things, and it's quite a big negative, is the state of some of the roads around here.
Yes.
Because they're very charming, but there are potholes to die for, as they say on TripAdvisor. And there are grates and grills.
And speed bumps.
Oh, I pressed the wrong pedal then. And speed bumps. And
It's okay.
it is a bit of a minefield for a car, a quadricycle with, you know, suspension but limited suspension, and you're very conscious that you just don't want to break it. So the speed bumps are weird, aren't they? Because they're sort of painted in such a way that you can't tell whether they're a zebra crossing or a speed bump.
Yeah.
They're almost like camouflaged. So sometimes you think, oh, I can whiz through this, and then you sort of do an Evel Knievel out the other end. So so I've been having to play a game of dodge the potholes in the last couple of days. So it's something to bear in mind if you come in a quadricycle or a microcar up here. Say one of the other negatives that we've encountered is quite simply the lack of chargers.
Yes.
I mean, in Dolceaqua we've managed to find a charger, though today a non-electric person was parked in it, which really annoyed us, but we did manage to get the one next door that had the police car in it yesterday.
I was going to say, yesterday there was a police car also not charging.
And it was an NLX charger, which are our favourites. We sort of prefer them to the Italian, to the French ones.
Yeah.
They're really good, they're really cheap, and efficient.
But you do need to have it all installed on your app with your payment information, PayPal or credit card.
We did
on there.
We did have a fuss in Montemille, didn't we, on the way here?
Yeah.
Again. Another Fiat Panda. Panda Watch. It's like Panda Watch, this. David Attenborough's Panda Watch. So yes, the charger issue is a big one. When we went up yesterday to Pigna, Castel Vittoria, no chargers whatsoever. So if we'd been out of power up there, we would have been reliant upon strangers to let us plug into their domestic sockets. So it is something to bear in mind if you're coming in a quad. Also, I would say we have seen 0 electric cars around here. We've seen hybrids, but of course the hybrid is, I think many people bought them because there was an eco discount and seldom actually plugged them in at home. I might be wrong. But we've seen very few electric cars, so there is still a way to go in terms of equipping these small villages with them in the way that they've done in Provence-Alpes in 06, where we've got a lot of them.
The other really good thing about the Juicebox app, once you've got all your details, etc. loaded into it, when you look on the map, it actually tells you whether the charger is being used, whether it's occupied.
That is because often we schlep out to a charger to find it's not in use or it's disabled or whatever.
And it says available, working. Now, of course, there could be a police car or other parked there.
Sign up ahead with all the campsites and restaurants around is La Bona. It is worth pointing out that when we got to our campsite, the lady who checked us in, when we asked about electric charging, looked at us as if we'd just come in from space. And I do think that given so many of their customers, hundreds of customers, are driving from Holland and all kinds of places in their cars, in their motorhomes, these places are increasingly going to have to catch up with the times and equip themselves not just with a two-prong place to charge, but with a place that you can charge a Tesla or a normal electric car, because I think they're going to miss out on an awful lot of bookings because people are simply going to go through and go, is there e-charging, yay or nay? I suspect that electric charging is going to become the modern day Wi-Fi. I'm old enough to remember when you used to go to a hotel and say if they got Wi-Fi and they'd look at it. It was like my Uncle Bill when people used to come into the pub I was brought up in the 1970s and say, could I get some ice in my drink? And Uncle Bill would say, what do you want ice for? It's cold enough outside. And I do think that electric charging is a bit like that. It is the Wi-Fi de nos de jour. Oh, that was close, wasn't it? Was it him or me? Him. It was definitely him. It was him! And suddenly, as if by magic, Apricale comes fully into view. The drive up here triggered flashbacks for Mr. Boo, because in 2018 we cycled here. Well, we took the train to Ventimille and cycled from there. Well, I used an electric bike, but Mr. Boo had to pedal all the way. And then I made him hike through the town for his lunch at the wonderful Ristorante Apricale d'Adelio, which has incredible views and incredible food. Sadly today we couldn't eat there because there was nowhere in the village to charge, and we needed to eat and charge at the same time in preparation for our journey back to France. So we headed back down into Dolceaqua. So if you want to know where the charger is in Dolceaqua, it's right next to the post office. So whilst we charged up, we went and had a pizza at perhaps Dolceaqua's most famous pizza restaurant, Il Borgo Pizzeria Ristorante. And after that, it was time to bid a fond farewell to the Nervia Valley. We've had an absolute ball, and we hope you have too. If you have, then please give us a like, give us a thumbs up, and perhaps buy us a coffee and help fund the channel. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.